Hi everyone, this is question number 10 from chapter 6 of microeconomics. In this question, we are required to fill in um, the information in this table. So basically, we have this person, Kendrick, who got $144 to spend. That's his budget constraint on cigars and brandy. The price of cigars is $6. The price of brandy is $30 per unit. To calculate the marginal utility, basically remember that marginal utility is um, change in total utility over change of output. Basically tells you how much each additional unit will give you additional utility. So for example, between 1 and 2, it's going to be 46 minus 28 divided by 2 minus 1. So to fill this information, we can utilize the Excel sheet in here, which is faster. And we can do it very fast. So I'm going to start here because where he was supposed to have a 0. So when we move from 0 units to 1, we can calculate the marginal utility, which is like equal to 28, because 0 consumption, 0 units of consumption will give you 0 utility. Calculate the rest. So it's going to be 46 minus 28 divided by 2 minus 1. That's 18. We do the same for all other levels of output. Get these numbers. Now the next step, we need to calculate the marginal utility per dollar. So what we need to do is divide marginal utility by the price of cigars, which is $6. So we can do it faster on the Excel sheet. So 28 divided by 6. And we'll do the same for every level of output. We do the same calculations in here. Remember, the price of brandy is $30. Very expensive. Divided by 2 minus 1. Minus 1. Close the bracket. And we do the same thing we do in here to calculate marginal utility per dollar. Divide the marginal utility by the price of brandy. So basically it's going to be 150 divided by 30. We got 5, the same, we got these neat numbers. Okay, so we transfer these numbers, and be careful when you transfer them because you have to do some rounding, so you need to be careful of the rounding. So we start with marginal utility of using or consuming cigars, 28. 18, 16, 12, 6, 4, 2. Marginal utility per dollar. So you have 4.73, 2.721, 0.7.33. Do the same calculation in here. Transfer the number. So we got 150, 120, 90, 60. So over here we have 150, 120, 90, 60, 30, 20, 10. Marginal utility per dollar is 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.7.33. Your answer. Here we go. So are these preferences consistent with the law of diminishing marginal utility? Yes, look at the marginal utility here is decreasing. Look at the marginal utility here is decreasing. So the answer is yes, they are. Now, this is the important part. So basically, in this question, you need to calculate the amount of cigars and brandies that maximizes Kendrick's satisfaction or utility given his budget constraint. So if you're like if you were this person, where should you spend your money first? Okay, if you spend it on cigars, it's gonna give you 4.67 per dollar Gittles, right? If you spend it on brandy, it's gonna give you 5 per dollar, right? Of course, you should spend it on brandy. So basically, you will first spend your money on brandy, and then should you buy another bottle of brandy? Well, it would give you 4, but spending it on cigars would give you 4.67. So you should spend it here. Should you buy another cigar, it will give you 3, but if you spend the money that you have on brandy, it will give you 4. So you should buy second brandy. In doing so, you need to check whether we are still within the budget constraint. So 2 brandy will cost you $60 to multiply by 30, 60, plus $6, 1 unit of cigars. That's 66. So we still have money, right? So we can go on. Should this person buy another third unit of brandy? Actually, we give him 3 per dollar. And over here, it would give him 3 per dollar. So it's either way, you spend it here or here, basically will give you the same unit of utility per dollar. So I'm going to pick up this one first. Okay, should this person buy the fourth unit of brandy, we give him 2, but if he spends it on cigars, we give him 3. So of course, he should spend it on cigars. Are we still within the budget constraint? Yes, 3 multiplied by 30 is 90, plus 12. That's like 102. So we still have money. Should this person buy the fourth unit of brandy? Well, we'll give him 2 utils per dollar, but if he spends it on cigars, we give him 2.67, so that's higher. So he should buy a third cigar. Should he buy a fourth cigar, we give him 2. Should he buy this one, we give him 2, so he's indifferent. This time I'm gonna pick up like fourth. Are we still the budget constraint? Yes. 3 multiplied by 30 is 90 plus 4 multiplied by 6, that 24 plus 90 is still below 144, so we still have some money to be spent on what? Should we buy another cigar? It's going to give us 1 euro per dollar. If we spend it on brandy, it's going to give us 2, right? So if we spend it on brandy, are we still within the budget constraint? So 4 multiplied by 30, it's 120 plus 24. So the cost of 4 units in here is $24. And if we buy this unit, we can exactly exhaust the budget constraint, right? So 4 multiplied by 30 is 120. So 120 plus 24 is 144. So we cannot afford to buy beyond this point because we will be beyond the budget constraint. So this person should consume 4 units of cigars and 4 units of brandy. 4 and 4. Okay, in this part, we assume that the price of cigars changed to $8 instead of $6. And we need again to fill up the table and then find the utility maximizing level of uh, consumption of cigars and brandy. So marginal utility again, we can calculate it the same way we did before. 28. Actually, we already calculated these numbers in here, so we just gonna copy them. 18, 16, 12, 6, 4, 2. And to calculate marginal utility per dollar, we divide marginal utility by the new price. The new price in here is $8, and then we round to 2 decimal places. So 28 divided by 8 is 3.5. 18 divided by 8 is 2.25. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 12 divided by 8 is 1.5. 6 divided by 8 is 0.75. 4 divided by 8 is 0.5. And 2 divided by 8 is 0.25. This is the easy part. Now, with the same budget constraint, with $144, and with this price of cigars, and the same of price of brandy. Notice that the price of brandy didn't change. Okay, so Kendrick will be maximizing his utility by consuming how many units of cigars and how many bottles. So again, he should first spend his money on brandy because it would give him 5 instead of 3.5. So he would consume the first unit And then should he buy another unit? Well, we give him 4 euros or utility per dollar. If he, on the other hand, decides to spend it on cigars, we give him 3.5. So of course, he should spend it on brandy. Should he buy a third unit brandy, we give him 3, but first unit, if he spends it on cigars, on the other hand, we give him 3.5. So he should spend the money on um, cigars. Again, you need to be careful that you are still within the budget constraint, right? You don't want to go over it. So we're still on the budget constraint. Should he consume the second unit brandy, we give him 2.25. But if he buy the third unit of brandy, we give him 3 per dollar. So of course he should buy brandy. Should he buy the fourth brandy, we give him 2. And over here, if he spends that money on cigars, we give him 2.25. That's higher than 2, so we should go buy the second unit of cigars. Now, should he spend the money on the third unit? Well, we give him 2. And over here, we give him 2. So they are equal. So we can pick up either one. So are we still within the budget constraint? 4 multiplied by 30 is 120. So far we bought 2 units of cigars, cost $16. 8 multiplied by 2. So so far the cost is 136. So we still have some money to be spent maybe on cigars. Should we spend this money on buy the fifth unit of brandy? Well, first of all, we don't have the money because we will be moving beyond the constraint, right? And the other reason is if we spend that money on cigars, we would get 2 instead of 1. So of course we should buy cigars. So it looks like we exhausted the budget. So over here, 3 units of cigars would cost us 3 multiplied by 8. That's 24. And we so far spent 120, which is 4 multiplied by 30 on brandy. And that would cost $120. So the total cost is 144. So we exhausted the budget. So this person should consume 3 units of cigars and 4 units of brandy. So it's going to be 3 and 4. Thank you very much.